What's it going to take for the massive hoarding cleanup in your life? It's a really great question. I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, right now, we're going on a series called HoardingWorld, #HoardingWorld, where we are covering all of the different nuances and the different behaviors of hoarders. And then we're going to take a look at, are you a hoarder, or do you have hoarding tendencies? Or do you know somebody who is a hoarder, or have you inherited a bunch of stuff and you didn't want to be a hoarder, and yet there you are with a bunch of stuff you don't need, don't want, can't use, and you're probably paying for to put in a storage unit. All right, I want to read something that somebody wrote into the show. She said, I put off moving because I had too much stuff to sort, sell, or haul. She put off moving. I finally got forced to move and downsize at the same time when a storm destroyed my home and its contents. What she says here is it took an act of God to come in and destroy her home and her valuables in order for her to move. Interesting, right? One of the reasons that hoarders have the situation that they are is because they're waiting for an act of God to come in and totally renovate their entire lifestyle. Now, she talks about a friend of hers because she's on the outside looking in, and here's what she sees. She says, I have a neighbor who put off getting rid of clutter for 30 years. She said she would get rid of it after she retires. Well, she retired recently, but the scale now is so out of control, she no longer has visitors. Not even tradespeople are allowed inside because she's embarrassed by it. In the meantime, her mother passed away, leaving a house, and she also didn't get around to cleaning out her house, and it was full of antiques, which she collects. So she's not sure, having two homes, how much is usable junk, and worst of all, how much is unusable junk, because she has sentimental value attached to it. Only 2 rooms are inhabitable, and she dresses in rags because the clothes she wants to wear she can't get to, and she's stopped buying things because there's nowhere to put them, and she's short on cash. Even knowing a rental income from the second home, this would be the mother's home that she would sell, could solve her financial problems. That's not enough of a driver to get her over the hump. She's completely overwhelmed, and she's elderly, and she has no family, and she isn't in great health. The place is full of trip hazards. She says she'll sell her second home when it's time to go into care, oblivious to the fact that if she can't do it now, she's not going to be able to do it from a hospital bed. All right, that is a really interesting letter. And I really wanted to read that to you because person number 1, it took an act of God to bring down a storm that completely destroyed everything that she held dear in order for her to say, oh, hello, I guess I'm going to have to live without that now. And off she went to move on to another place, right? Her friend on the other side is still living in a home with all the stuff. And now she has another home, which is her mother's home, with all of her mother's stuff and all of the antiques and the sentimental value and all of the stuff that comes with that. So she doesn't want to go through all of that because that means dealing with all of those things. She probably, too, is waiting for an act of God. And she's going to wait until she goes into the hospital or an assisted living center in order for her to sell her home. If she goes into a home, she'll actually have to sell both homes, okay? So what we're going to do in this series is we're going to break down what is it going to take for you to change where you live or how you live and change enough of the nuances that now you can have a clean, pretty, tidy space to live in. All right, I will share something with you, and it's a hint of hope. And I'm going to leave a hint of hope at the end of every one of these series because I want to give you a light at the end of the tunnel. Many people who are hoarders are creatives, and you have far more creative space and mental ability and mental accessibility to your creativity when your home is clean. And so if you are truly a creative, and that is where your passion lies, you're going to be far more creative, and you're going to have so much more fun, and you're going to go so much further with your creativeness once your home is clean. So that is the light at the end of the tunnel. Alrighty, if you found this helpful, please give us a thumbs up. If you got questions or comments, those go in the notes below. And in the notes below, when you click on the show more, it will lead you to the links for our private Facebook group, Hoarding World. We'll share our stories, we'll share our inspirations, and we will help you to the next phase of your hoarding journey. And I do believe that together we can leave the world a cleaner place.